definitely a long process, and I mean, I definitely probably just want to thank FCS for dealing with me and Damien for so long. Just because, I mean, we use FCS for the last 10 years. Like, look, this is the best product out there. We've seen all the other stuff, and you know, that was 4 years ago when we signed with FCS, and then we, at the same time, we saw all the other riders and other shapers coming out with fins, and we were just like, well, cool, let's just learn from them. Mm-hmm. And all these people came out with great fins, and everyone liked them and used them and stuff, and we just saw the formulas that worked the best. Like with me and Dame, what we got the most out of it was, you know, the TC Red Line, Tom Carroll's fin, and pretty much Kelly Slater just with the, you know, K1, 2, and 3. He pretty much just, that's what every kid was riding, and I think me and Damien were just like, all right, we have to have a product that, you know, that not only we use all the time and we're stoked with, but the kids will use all the time, and it'll just be a product that will kind of cover everything. And we were just like, we have to make a fin that works in Tahiti and works in Huntington, and just an all-around good fin that someone can just always use.
We started, you know, probably like 2 years ago, working on our fin and just trying to get it perfect. Really just the fin that would work in like all conditions, from like, you know, 2-foot Florida to like, you know, 6-foot cloud braid. The fin that we'd pretty much use in all the stops and just everywhere. Which was, you know, when you want to push hard and you want to really lay it over, that it would hold in. But then yet, if you wanted to kick the tail or kick the fins out, you're still able to do that too. So that's what I was looking for.
They took the composite core construction, where they were able to take the core and use resin transfer molding, and where they could make it all one and still be able to control the flex. And that was the biggest thing with me and Dame. Like, look, here, we want this kind of flex, but we want this fin to be super duper light. And they were able to come up with the resin transfer just to control the flex, and to be able to just to make the core and the resin all just be one, and have just this nice flex. Where sometimes we thought, how can we have a fin where it has just a more flex on the tip, and so you had almost like a bigger fin a little bit when you needed it, but then it still felt like a G3 small fin when you wanted to slide out the tail, and that was a way, you know, with FCS we were able to design it and have kind of the best of both worlds, and that was the way we went with the flex, because it's similar to a G5, but the flex is, you almost get that G3 characteristics, and I think that's insane, because I know a lot of the reason why people always like the Kelly fins is kind of what he did. He had 2 different side fins and a different back fin. So you got those 2 worlds, and that's why people love that fin, and that's why I love the fin. So it was like, how can we do that, but do it with the flex and do it different and make it better, I thought, and that's what we did. I mean, all 3 fins are the same, but you still get that best of both worlds, and that's what we tried for the last 2 years, and I'm so stoked with this good fin, and yeah. I think me and Damien's game was always about all-around surfing. Had to be airs, had to be power, had to be barrels, and how can we get a fin? You know, had to be really big waves, really small waves. How can we get a fin? And when we were going through those fins, every time we went back to the inside foil, we'd get like these little areas where, like, gosh, it worked insane in that area, but you'd always sacrifice for other areas. And that's not what me and Dan wanted at all. And I could still get like crazy, and the fin would hold in, or I could slide it out, or I could do a real tight turn or a real tight adjustment, and kind of just flying out all over the space. So you look like you were doing your thing, going crazy, but you still look like you were creative enough where it wasn't mechanical and it wasn't all these things, and it was just a factor of like trying to get better, you know. And I think that's what these fins are in that same way of thinking. And this is the goods right here. Couple years in the making, and yeah, hopefully, like everything else, it's just I don't know, proof's in the pudding.